Welcome to Sarasas Science School. This is Science M-3, and my name is Teacher Carla Circulado. Okay, let's begin by reading our vocabulary words. Please listen carefully as I read the first set of words. Consumers. Consumers. Bacteria. Bacteria. Grass. Grass. Now repeat after me. Consumers. Bacteria. Grass. Very good. Now listen again as I read the second set of words. Decomposers. Decomposers. Coral reef. Coral reef. Range. Range. Now repeat after me. Decomposers. Coral reef. Range. Very good. Now listen again as I read the third and last set of words. Community. Community. Producers. Producers. Rainforest. Rainforest. Now repeat after me. Community. Producers. Rainforest. Very good. Now let's do our dictation. 3 words. Prepare a piece of paper or your notebook and write as follows. Don't forget to write your name. Let's begin. Number 1. Spell the word consumers. Number 1. Consumers. Number 2. Spell the word range. Number 2. Range. Number 3. Spell the word rainforest. Number 3. Rainforest. Now let's check your answers. Bring out your red pen. If your answer is correct, please put 1. If your answer is incorrect, please copy the correct answer. Okay, let's read together and spell together. Number 1, consumers. C-O-N-S-U-M-E-R-S. Consumers. Number 2, range. R-A-N-G-E. Range. Number 3, rainforest. R-A-I-N-F-O-R-E-S-T. Rainforest. Very good. Now bring out your books and we will do our lesson for today. Unit 2, Ecology. Turn your books on page 19. If you're there, we will talk about the topic regarding the living environment. Everybody repeat after me. The living environment. Very good. Okay, repeat after me. It's made up of organisms, plants, animals, and insects. Each species makes up a population. Very good. So the living environment is an organism or made up of organisms, which is the living things such as plants, animals, and insects. Okay, So each species or variety of animals has its population. So we have the mosquitoes here. It has its eggs, larvae of mosquito. And we also have the frog here. The population of frog, we got the tadpoles, froglet, frog spawn. And we have the population of the water lily or the yellow water lily and fishes too. Okay, so all of the population of each variety of animals in one habitat or one place makes up a community. That's why this is an example of a pond community. Okay, now let's move on. There are many different kinds of communities on Earth. Okay, here's examples of communities. Repeat after me. A desert community. Very good. So in a desert, there's a community of camels, scorpion, snakes, lizard, and Joshua tree. That's why, together with the population in one place or habitat, it's called a desert community. Okay, next. Here's another example. Okay, repeat after me. A rainforest community. Very good. So in a rainforest, there is a population of monkeys, population of leopard, panda, giraffe, and population of birds. Okay, so in a population in one place or in one habitat, that's why it is a rainforest community. Let's see another example. Okay, everybody repeat after me. A coral reef community. Very good. So under the water, there's also a community. There's a population of corals. Okay, stony corals, there's algae, octorals, some fishes as well. Okay. Next, another example. Everybody repeat after me. A grassland community. Very good. So there's a population of foxes, prairie dog, rabbits, and some birds. Okay, that's why it is a grassland community. Okay, now let's talk about biodiversity. Everybody repeat after me. Biodiversity. Very good. It's the range of organisms in a particular ecological community. Okay, it is a range of organisms or living things. Okay, in simple explanation, a biodiversity refers to all the variety of life, or living things that can be found on Earth, or such as plants, animals, fungi, and other microorganisms. Okay, including the communities in one habitat. Okay, that's why it's measured by the population or number of the species in the place. Okay, now let's talk about the three different kinds of organisms. Repeat after me. Number 1, producers. Number 2, consumers. And number 3, decomposers. Very good. Let's first talk about the producers. Okay, producers are green plants that make food from sunlight, carbon dioxide, and other nutrients. So, the producers are the green plants. They are the only organism that can make their own food by means of the sunlight, which is called the photosynthesis. Okay, it says here that producers are extremely important because even humans and animals, they depend on the producer, which are the plants, to survive. Okay? Next, consumers. Everybody, consumers. Consumers get energy by eating other organisms. Okay? So there are 3 kinds of consumers. Number 1, primary consumers. There are herbivores. Okay, herbivores meaning they are vegetarian. Okay, they eat plants. Okay, one example of primary consumer is this rabbit. Okay, they are usually small in size and there are many. Okay, rabbit eats only plants. Okay, so primary consumer. Number 2, secondary consumers. Are carnivores, they eat herbivores. Okay, so the secondary consumer, they are meat eaters and they eat herbivores, which is the vegetarian animal. So example of carnivore or the secondary consumer is the snake. Okay, so he feeds by herbivores. Okay, number 3 is tertiary consumers. Are carnivores that eat other carnivores. So the tertiary consumer is also a meat eater and it will eat a carnivore, which is also a meat eater. Okay, example is the hawk. So the hawk will get all the nutrients from the primary and the secondary consumer. Okay, now let's move on to decomposers. Everybody repeat after me. Decomposers. Decomposers are mushrooms and other fungi, worms, and bacteria. These organisms eat dead animals and plants. Okay, so decomposers are also living things. Okay, they feed on dead animals or plants. Okay, we have oyster mushrooms here and fungi. And we also have decomposers as insects. Okay, we have caterpillar, helminth, apple maggot, and wireworm. Okay, they also feed on dead animals and plants. Okay, now let's talk about the food chain. Repeat after me. A food chain is a series of organisms that energy passes through. Very good. So here's an example. Okay, so the grass, as we know, the plants makes their own food by photosynthesis. They absorb sunlight energy. Okay, so a primary consumer, which is a herbivore or vegetarian, will eat the grass. He will get the nutrients and the sunlight energy from the plant. Then the secondary consumer, which is a carnivore or meat eater, he will then eat the herbivore and it will get the nutrients as well. Next, the tertiary consumer, he will then obtain its nutrients or nutrition by eating the primary and the secondary. He will also get the sunlight energy from the grass, okay, by eating these two animals here. It's also a carnivore, which is a meat eater. Okay, so the next example is the water plant. It also has nutrients and make its own food. The tadpole will eat the water plant. It will contain the nutrients in its body. Next, this insect will eat the tadpole and will get the nutrients. Then the last one, the frog or the tertiary consumer, will eat the secondary one, who will then get the nutrients from the tadpole and insect. Okay, let's do our exercise. Write as follows, and it will be enumeration. 1 to 4, give 4 examples of different kinds of communities on the earth. Give 4 examples of different kinds of communities on earth. 5 to 7, give 3 different kinds of organisms. Give 3 different kinds of organisms. 8, 9, 10. Give 3 kinds of consumers. Give 3 kinds of consumers. Okay, very good. Now we talk about the living environment, which is the living things or living organisms, examples of different communities on earth, the 3 kinds of organisms, and the food chain. So if you need to review or go back to the exercise, just rewind or just pause and repeat the video. Okay, thank you so much, students, for listening and learning today. Just a reminder, wash your hands, wear your mask, stay at home, eat healthy, and we will see you soon. Goodbye!